One of the most important and core value of our sampradaya is we are a Guru Mukhi sampradaya.
Gurur Brahma.
Of course, we value God and hold God as the highest. And of course, we respect the scriptures because they form the foundations. Of course, we protect ourselves through the niyams, rules and regulations that we observe. And of course, in living our lives, we develop ourselves so that we grow as a personality, we flourish as a family, and more important, we become a global citizen of the world. But the core, the magic potion, the seed crystal to onset this entire process is a Guru. Many times we wonder when Bhagavan Swaminarayan is emphasized in the Vachanamrita to such an extent that the Guru is the gateway to moksha. Because not everybody could really digest the fact that you can have the presence of divinity in a living human person. Bhagavan Swaminarayan has said in Loya 10, people who are really active and action-packed in this world, but the moment they join satsang, they become equally active in satsang. You might ask that why are the words of a guru so important? Shri Swaminarayan Bhagwan Jai, Akshar Purushottam Maharaj Jai, Gunatitananda Swami Maharaj Jai, Bhagat Ji Maharaj Jai, Shastri Ji Maharaj Jai, Yogi Ji Maharaj Jai, Guru Hari Pramukh Swami Maharaj Jai, Guru Hari Mahanta Swami Maharaj Jai, Surat Akshardham Mahotsav Jai. One of the most important and core value of our sampradaya is we are a Guru Mukhi sampradaya. Of course, we value God and hold God as the highest. And of course, we respect the scriptures because they form the foundations. Of course, we protect ourselves through the niyams, rules and regulations that we observe. And of course, in living our lives, we develop ourselves so that we grow as a personality, we flourish as a family, and more important, we become a global citizen of the world. But the core, the magic potion, the seed crystal to onset this entire process is a Guru. Many times we wonder when Bhagavan Swaminarayan is emphasized in the Vachanamrita to such an extent, when he has particularly termed, underlined, and in our words would be highlighted the fact that the Guru is the gateway to moksha. And when he has himself said that, it has not been said because he has heard. It has not been emphasized because that is what is popular. Many a time, spiritual leaders, when they speak in this world, they would try and popularize spiritual values. And you and I can understand that they are speaking something And they generalize a spiritual value to such an extent just for the sake of popularity. We have two pathways in front of us, the popular and the principled. Those who choose the popular have to often sacrifice principles. And those who stick to principles have to forego popularity. But Bhagavan Swaminarayan has said something which is so profound that despite the fact the idea of a guru is the core principle of our sampradaya, this main idea is also the most popular way to reach Akshardham. If I said it and you heard it, if all the saints say it, you'll probably feel it's pre-programmed. But I remember once when I was in Bahrain, maybe a decade or more ago, and Dr. Praful Vaidya, he asked us that Swami Shri, we should go and visit and bless the Bahrain International Hospital, which was owned and run by Dr. Faisal Zira, a very popular doctor. He had some 110 doctors working under him and a paramedic staff of almost couple of hundred. So Dr. Praful Vaidya, in a small area about just this size, he asked me that, Swami, please, if you can address these people, all of them, apart from one or two, 98% were non-Hindus. So before I began to speak, Praful Bhai came to me and whispered into my ear that, Swami, please, none of them are Hindus and you are in a strange land. So please do not make any strong Hindu statements. And please keep our philosophy, especially the idea of a guru, very low key. Because not everybody could really digest the fact that you can have the presence of divinity in a living human person. In a mindset where you cannot worship anything else but, and you cannot pay respect to anything else but, and you cannot hold anything so dear to the level of God, but you cannot really talk about, you have to talk about something very general. So then I began and I spoke for almost half an hour about values of humanity, of human beings. It is important, but I never delved upon anything about spirituality so deep as a guru and everything else. And after I finished, everybody was happy. They were generally satisfied. But after I finished, Dr. Jira got up. And Faisal Jira, to my shock and surprise, he said, my pravachan or lecture was almost colorless and odorless. You have food which is completely tasteless so far as spirituality is concerned. And I was so general, technically so popular, and so less principled. Then Dr. Jira got up, the owner of the hospital, and he gets up and he says, that I would like to just add one thing what His Holiness Brahmavihari Swami spoke. And then he began that in our religion, we have always talked about that if there is a pure-hearted person who is close to Allah and is close to God, and if he's so pure-hearted, rare are those such souls that angels are seen flying around them. He said, is this written in our scriptures or not? And everybody said, yes. He said, but has anybody from you ever seen angels floating and flying around? Anybody that you have ever met? And everybody remained quiet because nobody had literally seen. He said, let me tell you, in 1997, when I went to receive His Holiness Pramukh Swami at the Bahrain airport, and Jasbir Singh was with us. And when His Holiness Pramukh Swami Maharaj came, and Jasbir Singh literally threw himself on the ground because he could not understand Danwat Lesu. So Jasbir Singh literally threw himself again and again and again. Normally we do 5 Danwats or 6 Danwats. So Zira said, I was so surprised that why is he doing it? But when I looked at His Holiness Pramukh Swami, and I stand before you in all honesty, he put his hand on his heart and he said, I literally saw angels flying around Pramukh Swami. Whatever I had left out, Jira added. And he did not stop at that. He said, such a divine experience I have never had in my life. But it does not end there. My continuous association with His Holiness Pramukh Swami has led me to believe that every path of every religion leads to God. Open-heartedness. But let me also emphasize the fact that while every religion and every path leads to God, the widest and the most comfortable path is the path shown by Pramukh Swami Maharaj. Can you imagine the way he put it? He never sacrificed the principle, and yet he made it popular. Sometimes we are scared to understand, but Bhagavan Swaminarayan has emphasized the fact that the gateway to God, the gateway to moksha is the Guru. You and me may wonder in one way or the other that how can that be? In our sampradaya it says that you can do sadhana on your own, but if you do your sadhana as per the instructions of your Guru, that sadhana leads to rewards. You can read scriptures on your own, but if you read the scriptures as explained by the Guru, then those scriptures manifest themselves inside you. You can do bhakti, you can have vairagya. There are so many things that you can do, but if you fine tune as per the will and as per the wish of the God realized Guru, there is this magic potion that happens that actually multifold multiplies whatever you do. મન ધાર્યું આખા મંદિરનો વ્યવહાર કરતો હોય. Imagine just one person who has built this temple. Imagine just the same person who is donated for this temple. Imagine that same person who sustains this temple. Imagine that just one person who actually rules this temple. If મન ધાર્યું આખા મંદિરનો વ્યવહાર કરતો હોય તો એ કનિષ્ઠ છે. If somebody is doing the vyavhar of this mandir right from the beginning to end, from creation to the crowning glory, but if he's doing it because of his own mind, his own mind's wishes, then Gunatayan Swami said he is the lowest of the low. પણ ભગવાન અને સંતની આજ્ઞાથી ખાલી બેસી રહે, 3 ટાઈમ જમે, કોઈ જ સેવા ના કરે અને આજ્ઞાથી બેઠા બેઠા ખાલી ગુણ લે, Wow, this guy is good. This guy is great. That person did something amazing. તો એ ઉત્તમ છે. Look at the magic of Agna. It's like a plus sign in front of your calculation, and Mandharyu is a minus sign in front of your calculation. I think doctors will understand. If I give you a figure and I say, Rakesh, you're an accountant and your dad is how close you are. If I say, just say a single figure that you would love, say a large figure. Come on. 1 million, okay? If I had a plus in front of that million and I gift it to you, you'll be smiling. But if I had a minus in front of that million and gift it to you, you are 1 million less. Do you understand? The krupa of a guru, the krupa of a God realized saint is such unique that even if you are full of vices, even if you are full of all the bad and ill habits, even if you have the worst of anger, the worst of lust, the worst of greed, the worst of selfishness, but if you connect yourself with a real spiritual guru, a gunatit guru, that he can turn all that. The classic example of Joban Pagi, the classic example of Magniram, the classic example of Ladudan, Brahmanand Swami, the classic example of all of us. Bhagavan Swaminarayan has said in Loya 10, જે સંસાર વ્યવહારમાં પણ બહુ આગળ હોય પણ જ્યારે ભગવાનની સામે એની દ્રષ્ટિ થાય તો ભગવાનની કૃપાથી એ ભગવાનના માર્ગમાં પણ એટલો જ આગળ વધે. People who are really active and action packed in this world, but the moment they join satsang, they become equally active in satsang. So never get disheartened by your own thoughts. I would rather say the worse they are, the better you are with His Holiness Mahan Sai Maharaj, provided you are open-hearted. And I've seen some of the most pious I'm saying, but if they are distant from a saint, then they lose more than they can ever imagine. So as I would say, the miracle, the key factor is your and my association with a saint. You might ask that why are the words of a guru so important? Let me explain to you in a very simple way. One person who was very close to us, a great designer, his name, Dashrath Patel. He had never studied formally. He was a school dropout. The teachers were tired of him because when he was asked to memorize the alphabet, he argued, why do I have to memorize it in this order? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, L, I. Why do I have to memorize in this order? As long as I can recognize the letter, what's the big problem with the order? When you read a word, not a single letter is in order. He asked the teachers this question at such a young age, the teachers kicked him out. He says, what's this possession of order? As long as I can recognize an alphabet, and then I can create words. So Dashrath Patel, he was perhaps our biggest rebel that I have met. Like he kept asking us that, can you answer one question to me, why Bhagavan Swaminarayan was born on this earth? He was Ishwar Swami, me, Anand Swami, Atmaswarup Swami, you can imagine Mahan Swami, all of us were sitting there, and he would always ask, and he could never even structure a proper English sentence. He would say, why he born? Why was he born? To ja was to nikri જ ગયું હોય. After we sit, you say, but why he born? And we literally got tired explaining to him why Bhagavan Swaminarayan was born on this earth. He had this habit of going to the core idea even of spirituality. So one of the things he explained to us very simply, he said, in your sampradaya, it is always said that learning from the Guru is the most important. Why is the Guru given so much importance that learn from him, obey him, do things as per his command? Why would you say that? And we struggled and struggled to explain to him in a proper logical way. Then he got up. He's not a Swaminarayan, he's not religious. It's got nothing to do with spirituality. But he said, let me tell you that for 40 years, I remained in NID. And almost for 20 years, I remained as the director of NID. I was the most non-qualified director because he never completed his education, and yet Sarabhai put him as the director. He said, whenever a new class came to me, the first class, so I would get up and say that you have two choices in front of you. If you want to learn design the way you want to learn, welcome to your first year. And if you want to learn design the way I want to teach you design, this is your 21st year. Because in whatever I tell, 20 years of design experience flows. So this is not your first year. This is your 21st year. And then you can go out of this university after 25 years of experience in just 5 years of study. Do you understand? The way he explained, so then I started thinking that from everybody that I know, the most experienced person is Pramukh Swami. And if I obey the way he tells me, then I'm not new in the world of spirituality. The power of a real guru is what? To say it in a very simple way, the power of a real guru, a spiritual guru that Bhagavan Swaminarayan has identified is he loves you more than you love yourself. You might feel this is extreme. There is nothing stronger than love. And if you can feel it, then you can experience it. In this world and time, especially as AI, we're all hearing about AI. We won't even know when it takes over. Somebody told me that doctors are immune. Doctors are not. If I ask you, Mitesh, then why are you an expert? There are two types of doctors, those who are excellent and those who are experienced. The excellent doctor is a person who is well informed. He knows everything about what's happening. But the experience is a person who has operated upon the most number of patients. Experienced. If I ask you, you had to choose a doctor, which doctor would you choose for your operation? The experienced or just the excellent? Tell me, come on. So what about all this knowledge? The wise people will say, Swami, we'll go for both. The excellent who is experienced. Okay? We need knowledge and we also value experience. We just don't want experience without the updated knowledge. But then I want to ask you, even if you are the excellent and experienced, if you can't recall your experiences at that moment of need, The greatest challenge of memory chips is the speed of recall. We think remembering is most important. What's more important, your memory or recall? No, tell me, what is more important? The ability to recall is more important than the ability to remember. You may remember so many things, but pariksha vakhate gosh, I can't remember. Your ability to recall. So now coming back to you have excellence, you have experience, but the ability to recall both that excellence and experience at that moment, that's where AI comes in handy. You might have operated 5,000. How many patients have you operated? 3,000. So you've operated 3,000. But do you remember all 3,000 patients? Tell me. You don't. And do you remember exactly our patient? Yes, intuition, your memory has gone. You've become experienced. So at least your hands and eyes and feet and everything will move in that almost synchrony. But can you exactly remember the name of that patient, exactly what happened and this? You don't. It's all intuition now. But what can AI do? That by the time you sip a cup of coffee, from all these 3,000 patients that you've operated, everything is refreshed and exactly identified with the patient that you're operating and say, exact something like this. There were 5 cases, this has happened. And this is when Mitesh looks at those. Don't you think it's easy to have AI as an assistant? Because it takes the burden away from what? Excellence, experience, and the ability to recall. So if I say, if a real guru who is antaryami, who knows you more than yourself, he knows your thoughts, he knows your challenges, he knows your abilities. I was just reading that people will always curse AI, but no, let's think about it. AI, when it enters your family, you can never have better caregivers than an AI assistant. All of you are doubting me, but let's look at it differently. That as a human being, you can always just sit next to your grandfather, hold his hand, keep looking at his eyes, and wait for him to say something. If he says nothing, you can't give care. Love alone is not enough. You can sit holding his hand and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. Doesn't cure him. If it's an AI assistant, they'll know that 20 minutes he's been sleeping on this one side, that if he's not moved, he's going to get bed sores. So it will assist to move. It'll be measuring his pulse. It'll be measuring his blood works. It'll be measuring the movement of his eyes. It'll be measuring so much. So an AI assistant caregiver will be perhaps able to give greater care than you and me just sitting around. And they also say that there will not be better tutors for your children. You'll say, no way, Swami. Still, till now, what's our habit? We ask our children to sit down, ek kallak tu bes, tu learn. It's your math time, study maths. But an AI tutor knows that when his attention has gone, the AI tutor knows that his ability or her ability is just half an hour for maths. Now suddenly it's just shifted off after 20 minutes. Then it'll change to chemistry. Get him interested in chemistry. Then after 20 minutes of chemistry, he might say, oh, physics is interested for 1 hour. Then it'll allow him to study for 1 hour. Can you do that to your child? No, you can't. And can you design a course that challenges him slowly, slowly? We have syllabuses and we have chapters which are common for every mind. You know what an AI tutor will do? It'll design a chapter. If your son or your daughter is interested in, let's say, tennis, all the examples that will be given for speed, Momentum will all be from tennis and tennis rackets. Do you understand how it... So every chapter will be customized, not just to the age of the child, but to the age of his mind. So don't you think an AI assisted tutor will be far better? We think, and it's possible. But there's one thing I wanted to emphasize where the guru comes in. And that's what I want to say. That everything will be able to assist you in one way or another. But I wanted to emphasize one fact. The ability of a real spiritual guru is the AI can also assist you as per your mind and also your thoughts. But what about Purva Karma? I hope science doesn't discover something that meddles in your past lives. What about your prarabdha? That you could be trained the best way you possible, but tamaru prarabdha જ ખોટું છે. You have 3 children of the same family, and everybody will have their lifestyle according to their prarabdha. So I wanted to emphasize one fact with a small example that I remember very deeply. It was in 1980s before we became sadhus. We were all balaks. And we had the classic London gang, the Piccadilly gang, our own youths, good outgoing young youths. And they hung around Pramukh Swami in 1980s. And wherever Bappa went, they went, They were the loudest in jays, Pramukh Swami, Jai, Jai, Jai. We were all balaks. We were much younger. But they were the ones who were seen all around Pramukh Swami, loving the Guru and really admiring Pramukh Swami in a Bappa, Bappa, Bappa. One fine day in the morning, obviously in London, there was always this thing, the trustees and the management committee and the youth and all of us. So one fine morning, one of the trustees came with a newspaper. I think it was Guardian or Telegraph. Guardian. And they came up, okay? It was about Garba. And there was a picture of Indian youths in traditional dress doing Garba with તેમાં તો બધું Garba mixed હોય. And it was a general picture, no names mentioned. And to everybody's shock and surprise, આપણા બધા સત્સંગી છોકરાઓ જ હતા, front page. And obviously everybody went to Bappa and said, Bappa, ajo, the guys who are really close to you hang around and they say the Jai the loudest, the popular way. That Guru, 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 Guru. And ajo બધા શું કરે છે તમારા? And then Bappa looked, and all these guys, they also knew that we have to go and report to Pramukh Swami. One end they loved Bappa, but on the other end they also loved the world. This is our classic situation. We love satsang, we love mandir, but at the same time we also value wealth, we value things, we value desires, we value everything. Okay. So Swami called them, and the easiest way for them to escape was કે બાપા અમારા બધા મિત્રો સાથે અમે ગયા હતા. મિત્રોએ બહુ આગ્રહ કર્યો, our friends really insisted. And then the other argument, we just did one round, we got captured. Whether they did one round or not, nobody knows. But we just did one round and we got captured. And who the hell took the picture? And they start, you go on that, kon che, and am chen, tem chen, who brought it to Bappa and Abba Ugun lecha. But what were you? There was nothing about Abba Ugun, anything like that. So they were so crestfallen. And the only thing Pramukh Swami said, સ્વામી કે એ તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ કે સ્વામી કે તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ છે તો અમે તમારા ફ્રેન્ડ નહીં. સ્વામી કે તમને અત્યારે સમજાતું નથી, આગળ ઉપર સમજાશે. Pramukh Swami was never insistent. And you've seen him, you've met him, you can be yourself. Swami said something so purposeful. કે એ તમારા friend તો અમે તમારા friend નહીં, they are your friends, so am I not your friend? You will not understand now, but as time goes, you will understand. And when you meet them, I've asked them many times, the friends who took you to the Garba, where are they? They say, oh, Swami, we don't even know where they are. I want to ask you, the friends you hung around in school, day in and day out, where are they now? I'm not saying you've lost them, no, but they are no longer in your life. The friends you hung around and you thought that, you fought with your mom and dads, I have to go with my friends to play football, do this. Where are they now? The friends you had in college, where you did things, where are they now? The friends you had in London, I'm not trying to say in business, technically, are they with you 24 hours? I want to even take it one step further. Your relatives, when you really need them, where are they? How many people can you pick up the phone and call at 1 o'clock at night and ask them that I need 500,000 dirhams? Will not ask you a word and give it to you. How many? How many trust you beyond you ask, before you ask? How many accept you as you are? And I ask them many times, they say, Bapa is still there. Pramukh Swami was for them, with them throughout, whether they were successful or they were failures, whether they strayed or whether they stayed. Whatever they did, Pramukh Swami has been them. Whether you came up with problems that Swami had nothing to do with, he would be there. You'll say, Swami, I've made a big loss. He will be there. Pramukh Swami said, ke e tamara friends che, ame friend nahi. So remember, in conclusion, I wanted to say, the Guru knows you more than you know yourself. He loves you more than you love yourself. He's the all-time friend. The all-time friend. And the full-time friend. We may have an all-time friend, that you exchange chats and this. And oh, I still remember the 40 years ago, we still are, we catch up. But when you need them, they're not there. So Pramukh Swami and Mahan Swami are the all-time friends and they are the full-time friends. But they are also the beyond time friends. Your time on this earth is limited, maybe 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years. But before this birth, he's been watching over you. And after this birth, you ask any of your friends, will you be with me in my afterlife? He said, thank God, no. Were you ever with me before this time? No. Pramukh Swami was in America and he was talking to some youth. And one of the American youth, Satsangi youth, said, Ke Bapa, I work for the American Army and I'm completely exposed to all the wrong habits, whether it's eating, whether it's drinking, whether it's partying. To Bapa, tame mari raksha karjo. You know what Prabhu Swami said without hesitation? Tu janmyo tyarthi tari raksha karta hai maje. From the moment you were born, you have been protecting you. You might think that, is this really true? Let me give you an example which is very close to my heart, which comes from this region. It was in 2003, 19th September, that a child was born in Kuwait. One of our devotees, his name is Jai Prakash Derasari. His brother's name is Harish Derasari. They are our Karyakars. And Jai Prakash Netya, a child was born. The moment he was born, this was about 7:10 in the morning. They phoned Pramukh Swami And Swami named him Gansham Derasari. At 1 o'clock exactly in the afternoon, the child was stolen from the hospital. You're surprised and shocked he was stolen. They couldn't find him. Everybody was crying. The whole hospital could not find where this baby went, disappeared. And everybody struggling. They found Bapa. And when they found Bapa, I was there, 2003. And they found Bapa, અને બાપાએ કીધું, બાપા કે આપણે ઘનશ્યામ નામ પાડ્યું છે. સ્વામી કે મુક્ત છે, મહિનામાં મળી જશે. Is that a time slot? You said 1 મહિનામાં મળશે. This is shocking. સ્વામી said મહિનામાં મળી જશે. You know, to ask parents to keep Shraddha for a month. I was shocked. Neelu, મારો તો, it wasn't my baby, but I was almost shocked. I said, કે આ મહિનામાં મળશે એટલે સ્વામી, what are you saying? સ્વામી કે મહિનામાં મળી જશે. અને સ્વામી કે આ મુક્ત છે, પાછો આવશે. But look at the family. Both Jai Prakash and Harish, they kept implicit faith. Swami ke police karyavahi karo. It's a strange country. I'm talking about 2003. And which country? What happened in Kuwait in 2000? The war. And after is post-war era. Everybody's scared and everybody's feeling that we are technically nobody. The police kept a watch. After about 2 weeks, another Syrian girl was stolen from the same hospital. Literally stolen. So everybody's worried. આ પણ બાપાને મેસેજ આવ્યો કે પ્રમેશ તમે સ્વામીને વાત કરજો કે બીજી એક છોકરી ગુમ થઈ ગઈ છે. This is like a habit, you know, like a serial stealing. એટલે આનો છોકરો ગુમ થઈ ગયો, આ થઈ ગયો. The police kept watch, but they did another thing. They not only watched the hospital, they watched all the registration departments where new children are registered. After a month, a Rajasthani couple registered twins, boy and a girl. Okay? And the colors really did not match. Twins તરીકે એને match register કરવા ગયા કે these are our children. Okay, a boy, a Syrian girl, and an Indian boy. નાનકડો, આ તો નાના જ હતા. They went to register, and that's where they were caught. They admitted that they were working in the hospital, but because they did not have children, they wanted a boy and a girl, and they stole them in this way. And Gansham was returned back happily after a month. આવે છે અહીંયા સેવામાં. I'll ask him to tell his story to everybody. Imagine, can you imagine? When Pramukh Swami said, તમે જન્મ્યા ત્યારથી હું તમારી રક્ષા કરું છું. In one way or another, all of us have been watched over. So he is an old-time friend. He is also a full-time friend. Whoever you are, whatever you are, however high or however low, when he accepts you, he never judges you. The best friends you can have are the friends who don't judge you. We are not here to judge. We keep judging everybody. We have the freedom to judge our Guru. Swami, ana kairu, na kairu. He doesn't have the freedom to judge us. What a paradox. You can judge him, and we can't allow him to judge us, but he doesn't judge anybody. He's a full-time friend. And lastly, what do I mean by beyond the time friend? When you breathe your last, when you close your eyes, it will be only he who will be standing there. Everyone you know on this earth, everyone will be gone. Even your own body that you love so much, be gone. The only person who will be there is our Guru. So might as well listen to him, When you listen to him, it's not just 1 year in satsang, it's immortality in spirituality. So this is what I wanted to emphasize, that when Shriji Maharaj has said that Satpurush is the gateway to moksha, I believe he is also the path to moksha. He is also the gate to moksha. He is the reason and the purpose for moksha. And perhaps he is more interested in our moksha than we ourselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today and listening with such devotion. Bhagavan Swaminarayan has taught us the power of listening to katha. It purifies our mind and brings us closer to God. So if this katha helped you, give it a like, subscribe for more, and share it with someone you care about. Until next time, Jai Swaminarayan.